Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is, and don't mind me. I am cold, but I'm out here, and right now everything's going to kind of shift a little bit here with the sun because the sun is up there between the trees. So I'm going to do my best here, and there's a spider wanting to be my friend. So anyway, I hope you're getting out in nature and go for a hike, go for a hike. And if you missed my video before this, the one is what would you do? You're missing out on a really cool video. And besides that, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give my videos a thumbs up, and you can leave me a comment down below. Beep, beep, beep. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say, hi, Starlight. And you also can share my videos with your family, your friends. A pigeon and a dove. And also, don't forget, you can check out my playlist, and you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I want to just say a huge thank you to all of you who have been there, who has been loving and supporting me, and also those of you who give me thumbs up, or even leave me a message down below, or even share my videos. Thank you. And today it's about, what are you being distracted by? And there's so many things in life that we can be distracted by, and this video will help you to watch out for these signs in people or things, to really pay attention to what is going on and not to get distracted. And in this 3D matrix, this stimulation here, if you are gonna work on something, if you're gonna start a project, if you're gonna be the change that you want to see in the world, or become your greatest version, guess what? There's gonna be distractions that are gonna be coming up, and you don't know where it's gonna come from, who it's gonna be, what, all this stuff. So it is so important not to get distracted when you're working on things, is to stay focused. And things that can distract you is things going on in a community. There's something out here at this park yesterday. I could have gotten distracted. Instead of going out for a hike, I could have said, hey, yeah, I'll go over there, and check that out. And you got to protect yourself, especially, all the time, but during this time of the year, because more people get outside and they go take, they're getting out because the weather. So you're going to have a lot of things going on, a lot of events. Whoopsie, it's really breezy out here. So you have to really watch out for these kind of distractions out there, even in your house. Yeah, you could be distracted in your house. What takes up all your time? What are the things that, like the computer, there's people that they are distracted by their computer, or, by, what are you watching on your computer? Is it to help you to become your greatest version or be the change that you want to see in the world? Or is it things that are distracting you from working on yourself and being those changes that you want to make in your life? So you got to be careful of the kind of things that you're watching. Are you watching movies? What kind of movies are you watching? You watch the news. Okay, what kind of news? Is it depressing? Is it really helping you? Like how many hours do you spend watching the news, or, TikTok or social medias? So these are things that any of us can get distracted and pulled into. And with TikTok, it is so easily, that people can get distracted, because they got it set up, once you push the TikTok icon for the app, bam, videos start playing. Whatever's there, that will be the video that's going to start playing. So, and they're really short, and that is what really pulls people in, is that they're short. And if you really want to get help, watch something on, there's some people out there that do put inspirational short videos. Yay! We need you out there. Starlight has it, Starlight has been juggling with different things in her life, working on being balanced and all these things. So I still have to figure out how to get my videos from YouTube to TikTok for short videos. And so, if you're getting distracted by things, like what are you watching on TikTok? There's some great things on TikTok that you can get a lot of help from, like, becoming your greatest version or being the change that you want to see in the world, or things, like how to make things, how to, fix a car, how to do this, how to do that. But of course, short videos, that you're not going to get all the help that you want on those kind of videos for a short video, but it's amazing how they short everything up and make a video to help you to do things anyway. And social media, like with Facebook, how many hours, Starlight was there a long time ago, spent a lot of hours. Before you know it, wow, what time is it? Man, I felt like I only spent like a half hour, and, cup of coffee after cup of coffee, and, chatting with a robot, yeah, why not? I got all day to talk to, chat back and forth with a robot on social media like Facebook. And how about YouTube? How much time and what are you watching? That's what matters. You really want to have balance in your life. It's great to watch things on YouTube, that will help you, and, where you're getting help. It's not really a distraction, but you can get help. But you really have to balance yourself out in that too, is that you don't want to just stay online and watching, and it would be great, that they're all inspirational videos to get a lot of help, but there's other things that you need to do through the day so you're balanced, like working on yourself and getting exercise, getting out in the woods, spending some time maybe writing in a journal or writing a book, doing I am affirmations, meditating, doing yoga, doing exercise, like spending time with family, friends, or writing to somebody. So you got to have balance. You don't want to be like, the scales, like off, because then everything else is not going to really work really well for you if you're off balance. How much time, this is a good one here, how much time do you spend on your phone? What are you doing on your phone? I don't know, what are you doing on your phone? And do you have it with you all the time? Are you distracted with your phone where, you get a lot of messages, and now, there goes your day because of the messages that you're getting, and now, like, you look at the time and now you're being distracted from messages or things on your phone. Starlight uses her phone business for my YouTube. I do take a lot of videos, little short videos for my YouTube, and I take a lot of pictures for my YouTube. I really don't get a lot of phone calls or text messages, so that is not the problem with Starlight. I use my phone to do make my YouTube videos. That's my work. That's how I do my YouTube videos, and I create videos on there. I use apps to help me to create my videos. So it's mainly about work and taking pictures too. If I want to add those later on, I save all my pictures on flash drives. So hey, I took this cool picture, and now I can go on a flash drive and grab that, so I can put it on a video and add that to a thumbnail or in a video. So those are things that I do on my phone. I watch videos. I listen to meditation videos, every day, morning and night, to help myself to clear out energies that are not good for me, like low vibrational energies. And also, so those are things that are great to do. And if you need to learn how to fix something, or write to somebody, a friend, but you don't want to spend your whole day eyeballing, checking your phone out, because that's not really healthy for you, is to spend that much time. You got to really love yourself without always checking to see who sent you another message, 10 minutes later. And, a half hour later and another 15 minutes later, always checking your phone and seeing if anybody cares and if anybody loves you or is anybody out there supporting you. You have to be your best friend, out here in this world. And that is what I'm learning is you're not always going to have people out there cheering you on and supporting you. You have to be the one that takes care of your inner needs, your inner emotional needs, and your mental, needs, spiritual needs. So you can't always depend on reaching out to other people and having them filling up your cup. You got to be the one filling up your own cup, because when is enough enough? You could get a lot of messages from a lot of people, but you have to be the one doing the inner work on yourself. So then you don't really need those people to say how great you are and how wonderful you are, because you already know inside your heart space that you are all those things. And we don't need other people to tell us how great we're doing. We need to, believe that in ourselves. And that is one thing I'm learning right now, is not to be distracted, because when you don't have people cheering you on and supporting you, the ones that you think that would be there that aren't there, those are distractions. Those are things to focus. You got to focus within what's going on inside of you. Don't worry about people that you think that are going to be there every day for you to send you a comment, or maybe they don't even send you a comment. That's why it's so important that you have to love yourself enough that you said, you know what, it's okay that you don't respond to me. It's okay that you don't send me a message. It's not about you. It's about me. It's about what I am going through. It's what I need to work on. Because those people, they can come in your life and they can go. So don't let the outside influences, the people that you have, whether they're there supporting you or not, whether they're your friend or not, whether they're your family or not. Those are people that can be distractions. You do have people out there that are inspiring you, so make sure you're there for those people. But people that come and go, and that is a way of distracting you. And instead of you focusing on what's going on inside of your being, what kind of things are you dealing with? How do you feel? Are you emotional? Are you going through stress? Is there something that's not really working good for you right now? And maybe you know that there's something that you need to work on. And people that are outside of you that say they're your friends one day and later, a week later, they're not around, you get, those are distractions. Those are people, those are to distract you, where you're focused on, hey, why are you treating me this way? Hey, why are you acting this way? So now you got your attention from, instead of working on you, now your whole focus is on, why are they doing this? Why is this? Why, outside of you, even family members, they could say something to you and you're like, why did they say this? Why are they acting this way? Why are they doing this? What is, now there you go again. There's, it's taking the focus off yourself and putting it on other people that they're not even there. These people are not even there loving and supporting you, or they're there, like it's like some kind of game. They're there sometimes and then they're gone. Is that you don't want to have your mind all focused on, you got to realize those people, they got their own life. There's going to be people that are going to hurt you, without even trying. So forget about the ones that are not leaving you a comment, or, or calling you up on a phone or checking up on you. Forget all about that. You got to work on yourself. You got to focus on yourself. Those are distractions, and distractions come in many forms. You can meet people. This happens a lot with me on my journey, is you got to be careful. There's people that are going to come to you. They're going to find out. They could be strangers. They could be people that you know. They could find out information about you that, they could be people that drink alcohol still, smoke cigarettes, or do drugs. And you know what? Got to be careful. Got to shield yourself and your mind, everything. is that these people could trip you up and try to pull you back into where you came from, by saying what they feel about those things. And it's okay that people have an opinion, but you got to really understand, are these people helping you become your greatest version, or are they a distraction by trying to pull you back? Starlight does not drink alcohol anymore. Starlight does not smoke marijuana anymore. Starlight absolutely does not, smoke cigarettes anymore. Starlight is eating healthy right now. So you got to be careful, because you're gonna have people come in your life, and words are very powerful, and that is what you got to watch out for. Is words are very powerful, and people will, say stuff, and those words can go into you in your mind or your subconscious mind, and later on you'd be like, they could say stuff to you. It could be something that you let go of that you really enjoyed, and now they're like planting seeds. What kind of seeds are they planting? Seeds of trying to get you pulled back in to smoking marijuana. Hey, Starlight, if you smoke marijuana, and I know I could, I could, I could do that any day if I wanted to. But is it going to help me in this journey right now? No. Why not, Starlight? Well, because you know what? It's going to trip me up. It's like 3 hours for me to, by the time I start smoking, to getting high, to getting back to my normal state, I'm not going to get a lot of stuff done. That's why I don't smoke marijuana. It's a distraction. It will pull me away from the things that I need to work on. Yeah, I could smoke marijuana and get tapped in and get information and downloads. Yeah, but you know what? It's too risky for me. So you got to be careful. There's going to be people out there that are going to try to pull you back and get you back into what you were doing, especially weather like this, going out for a hike and going out, out in society, going some places, and people, get pulled into, drinking. Anybody can get pulled in. You could be a person that, is a sociable drinker, and before you know it now, that sociable drinking is more like drinking every day, So you got to really be careful of the things out there, and, even in society of watching sports, I love playing sports, but Starlight is not a person to actually sit down and watch sports. I have done that enough in my life. I've watched people do fishing, fishing videos, lots of fishing videos. I've watched people do watching hunting videos. I've watched people racing videos, just watching a car go around in a circle, and what are you getting from that? Instead of, you can learn from, like, I don't fish anymore. I wouldn't want to anymore, because I don't want to, I don't eat the animals, but football. Why do people, watch football? Why is football there? Wouldn't you rather play it than actually sit there and waste all that time? How long does that game last? And how many nights is that on? Like when it's active. So these are things that can distract you, and you really do. You got to protect yourself and, the kind of things you get involved into. There's a lot of people that invite me in a lot of places, and then, I got to ask, okay, you're inviting me to this place. Is there people going to be drinking and smoking there? Yeah. Of course there is. The music is going to be fun. I've gotten invited to a few places recently right now, and the music is not going to, some of the music in some places might be great music, but more than likely they're going to be smoking marijuana. More than likely they're going to drink alcohol. I don't want to be around it. Because you know what? That is how we get pulled back into those things. Just like somebody quitting cigarettes. Now I just heard a man not too long ago talking, and he wanted to quit cigarettes. His son was on to him, about quitting cigarettes. And I was like, your son, I didn't say this to the man, but your son is kind of being a hypocrite, because your son is smoking cigarettes. Why don't you guys quit together? Instead of the son saying, hey, you ought to quit smoking cigarettes, but you're smoking cigarettes. It's like kids grow up with parents, the families, the mom and dad are smoking cigarettes, and then they're like, hey, don't smoke cigarettes. Well, you're smoking cigarettes. So you got to be that example to other people. If you're telling other people not to smoke, not to drink, then you should not be drinking or smoking. If you tell people to eat healthy, then you should be eating healthy, right? So these are things, it's great to make a video, but if you're not really, there's times I make videos, I'm working on what I'm talking about. It's not that I've arrived there, but I'm actually working on it. There's a lot of people out there, they will make videos and they will claim that they got it down, but they're working on it too. They don't have it all down. They don't have it all figured out, but they can make a great video, but it's something that they're dealing with still in their life. So I was taught this a long time ago when I used to go to church. The pastor actually, the first pastor said, hey, I got a great message. He preached about a good message, and it made me feel good because you know what? When I watched a message, it made me know that he was being real because he said, I don't have this down myself. This is something I am dealing with, but this is something that I can help you out with. But it was something that he was working on, and we need people like that, is that they say, hey, you know what? I am dealing with this right now. I don't have this perfected. This is something I'm working on. This is something I desire in my life. The I am affirmations are so important, is you got to do those. Those are really good to do. And at first, you're going to not agree with all those things. And after a while, you're going to actually start being those things that you're saying. You don't want to just say, I'm an honest person and go around lying. So you got to correct the lying. So you don't want to get distracted out there, even with music. What kind of music do you listen to? Music can be a huge distraction. That's why I avoid certain music. Music can actually pull me back into what I was doing. If I listen to certain music, it's going to make me want to drink. It's going to make me want to smoke marijuana. So I don't want to be around in areas. There's music that drives me bonkers, so you got to be careful of those kind of things out there. Your triggers, what actually, distracts you. So be careful of the kind of how much time you're spending on your phones and on your computers, there's people that are out there, they do stuff on their computers and they do help other people out, but it is sometimes people, we all go through this, we all are guilty of this, is they're drawn into those kind of videos and they can get help from that and get messages, but you got to be careful because those can pull you in, those kind of things can distract you from being, becoming your greatest version that you want to be. Yeah, you got a great message, but how many hours are you spending searching for that message? Just like me making a thumbnail, there's times it takes me a long time just making one thumbnail on a picture. And I'm like, you know what? I'm spending too much time on this thumbnail. So, I could get distracted on putting too much time and energy on just a thumbnail. So we all can fall in any of these categories of putting our time and energy in places, and even conversations that you talk with people. What are you talking about? Are you talking about things to help you to be the change that you want to see in the world or become your greatest version? So there's some people, they don't want to talk to you because you're distracting them, because they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to listen to that because they know that it's distracting them from what they could be working on. So Starlight is not interested in talking about everyday stuff, but hey, you want to talk about becoming your greatest version or being the change that you want to see in the world? Hey, I'm all for game on that. But just talking about, gossiping and drama and all that stuff, I really don't have time for that. I do like learning about people and studying them so I can make a video later on and help other people to avoid these certain things. Or, if I see like a great thing going on, then I can inspire people, hey, this was really cool what they did. So anyway, I love you. And so be careful of the distractions, especially, all the time. you got to be careful, because this time of year, because it gets warm out and people get out and they start, you know, doing all these things more than they would in the winter time, is that you got to be careful and don't let people or your family distract you. Those are distractions. They're trying to, you know, the matrix, that's why all this shit happens, is the matrix. They have all this stuff, you know, to pull you away from who you are, to pull you away from working on yourself, to pull you away, you know, from meditating, from getting out and hiking, to getting alone time, is to pull you away and get you so like distracted by everything else and take your time and your energy away. I love you so much. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends. Let's see, a frog and a fly. Plus, you can also check out my playlist, and you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. Is please, you got, if you're working on something, you got to protect yourself. If you got to let go of that friend and say, you know what, you're distracting me, you know, you're not talking about anything to help me to, you know, to work on myself and all that stuff, you might have to let that friend go, you know. So you gotta, you know, what are you talking about? What kind of things, you know, are you wasting my time and energy? Or, you know, are you helping me and helping me to, you know, be the change that I want to see in the world, or become your greatest version. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.